What's up, family? It's your main man, Dr. Life, in the business of saving life, in the business of saving lives. First responder. Our business model is disaster relief. For those of y'all who don't have a clue what the disaster relief is, and you may think, oh, I live in an area, I live in an area where we don't have tornadoes or we don't have hurricanes, so why am I in need of disaster relief? The reason the whole world is in need of disaster relief is because there's a war going on outside and no man is safe. They're raging war on your spirits. We've been sounding the warning cry of the artificial man-made disaster for over 20 years. The back of this CD says 1998. We recorded it in 98. Well, we came together like 3 years earlier in 95, started laying the foundations. And we've been sounding the warning cry. Just like when tsunamis, when you live in places like Japan, live in places like Hawaii, you're on an island all by yourself. And when a 30-foot wall of water is coming towards land because the plates of the earth shifted under the ocean, way out in the ocean somewhere, and because the earthquake has happened underwater, now it's a 30-foot wall of death and destruction coming 100, 200 miles an hour towards the shore. You need disaster relief. First of all, you need a warning system. Disaster hunters that go out and scout. That's what we've been doing for 20 years. That's the defensive side. Now we move into the offense. And the title of this video says Holywood Tours and the Last Virtuous Woman Rays of Light launch. The Last Virtuous Woman Rays of Light launch. Holywood Tours. We going on tour. My people perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge. And the knowledge that our people are perishing from, our people getting all type of education, but it don't say my people perish for lack of degrees. My people perish for lack of higher education. Higher education is not knowledge. The definition of knowledge is to become one with. And for all of y'all out there who got all your degrees and everything, you know and can testify that you haven't become one with anything. Yes, that's the propaganda, that's the spin, that's the revolving door, that's the diversion to keep you running in place on a treadmill, never ever getting anywhere and never getting any closer to getting knowledge. But on these Holywood tours, we going around the country. To prove that we in the business of saving lives. And we got what everybody looking for. All right. So what is Holywood? Holywood is trial by fire. Holywood experiences trial by fire. Most precious metal on earth is gold. And gold is refined and tried by fire. And when gold goes through the Holywood experience of refinement, when it comes out, all of the impurities, they call it dross, are burnt off. And so there have been impurities that have been injected into our lifestyles and programmed into our lifestyle. And the Holywood tour is just us going. When I say us, I'm talking about the virtuous woman that I was talking about. Got 2 tours going on. The dragon was wroth against the woman and went to wage war with the remnant of her seed. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to wage war with the remnant of her seed, who keep the commandments of God and had the testimony of Jesus Christ. Holywood experience is going through the pressure, going through the battle. There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. There rage a war on your spirits. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to wage war. So we trying to warn y'all about. And people running around here just doing their everyday, day-to-day lives. Like, it's all about your career. It's about your next promotion. It's about being modern and being a independent. So what we wanted to do is show you a system and a model and let you know they sold you a incorrect business model. But we're in the process of launching and searching for Holywood stars to launch along with our young people that have been in this ownership training program from birth. So we've taken some seeds, some Holywood seeds, and we've trained them up in the way that they should go. And there's a whole crop of family members, friends, classmates, loved ones who've been running the race with these young people that we've been training up to prove that they are the royal sons and daughters of God. How do you prove that? At your birthright to passage. Your birthright. Your heritage. Your Holywood heritage birthright of passage. That's right. So we're going on tour to scout out and search and recruit some young people. Because word out on the street is that the elders have failed us. Word out on the street is that our leaders computer. I don't got no computer. Bye. Leave me alone. Word out on the street is that our elders have failed us. And it's true. The elders have failed you. It's because you're looking to follow the wrong elders. Following the wrong business models. Let me give you some examples. Word out on the street.
I'm Captain Obvious, and Hotels.com rewards me basically everywhere. So why am I hosting a dental convention after party in my...
On his shirt it says God's son. I'm here to tell y'all, we the sons of God. I give honorable mention to God's son.
Poison, ecstasy, coke, you say it's love, it is poison. Schools where I learned it should be burned, it is poison.
Schools where I learned
Prescription of medicine, which is poison. Doctors injecting our infants with the poison. Religion misunderstood is poison. Niggas
Religion misunderstood is poison. All right.
up in my hood be getting shot, giving poison in hospitals. Shots riddled the block little. Children and elderly women run for their lives. Drizzling rain come out the sky. Every time somebody dies, must be out my fucking mind. What is this? The 100th time sending flowers to funerals. Reading rest in peace. You know the usual. Death comes in threes. Life is short as what some niggas said. Not if you measure life by how one lives and what he did. It's funny how these black killer companies is making money off us.
These black killer companies is making money off us. Fast food. Fast food, sodas, skull and bones, crosses. It's all poison. Word on the street, our elders failed us. All of these politicians, all of these companies, all of these businesses making money off of the poison that's killing us generation after generation.
Poison, ecstasy, coke, you say it's love, it is poison. Schools where I learned they should be burned, it is poison. Physicians.
Schools where I learned? He washed. I think she jumped in the shower. She's supposed to come down and put it up. Tell Destiny to come in. Schools where I learned is poison. Let's check something out for you. Let's check something out for you. Let's define what Holywood is. I'm gonna define Holywood. Hold up, before I do that, let me see something. Here we go, an example of elders, elders.
There's a long shadow over America's past, slavery. We all know that the North and South fought over it, but many Americans don't know that slavery also existed in our biggest northern city. Jen is here with this amazing story. Haley, we're talking about New York City. A new exhibition takes a close look at slavery in New York, and we have a personal tour. A photo of a real slave named Caesar welcomes visitors to the exhibition Slavery in New York.
One of his most important accomplishments is that he lives 115 years. He lives enormously long. And yet, even after emancipation, he dies a slave. The history of slavery in New York is very, very varied.
Sudette Harry is a guide with the New York Historical Society.
Welcome to New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam is the original name of the New York colony. The first people to settle here are the Dutch, and they named it after a Dutch city.
Before it became the most populated city in America, New York was, well, a forest. The Dutch needed to clear the land in order to start building. So they brought in slaves from Africa to do the work. These copper figures symbolize those slaves.
They're meant to represent people carrying building materials. A big part of slave labor is going to be building the city, building the walls.
The Wall is now Wall Street. Today, it's famous for being the heart of the most important financial district in the world. But back in the early 1600s, this small area was the entire colony. The slaves lived outside of the wall in the land of the blacks. That's where they also had a cemetery. In 1991, construction workers accidentally found that African burial ground, and historians put more time into researching slavery in New York. They hope you will come to see the show.
I would hope that they would recognize that the landmarks that they take for granted were built by the labor of people who came here under the most tragic of circumstances.
Just like in the South, life was hard for slaves. When the English arrived, they made it harder. They created strict laws to keep slaves in their place in the colony they now called New York.
If you take a look at this well, what you'll see is the representation of 4 women standing talking across. Now, by this time, it is illegal for African Americans to meet in groups of more than 3.
So they would sneak and talk while doing their work.
Keep on going.
The exhibit shows just how hard slave labor was. Visitors are asked to pick up this bucket. Weights make it as heavy as it would be if it were full of water. Also on display, the tools used by slaves to make homes beautiful for their masters.
Strike a bell. Woman at the well. Woman, if you knew who was asking you for water, you would ask me for a drink, and I would give you living water. Springs to living water. Springs of water to life everlasting. Woman at the well. The whole history, the whole U.S. history is a sham. The whole U.S. history taught over and over. The whole Black History Month, the whole label, Negroes, Blacks, slaves, none of it is accurate or real. None of it. It only becomes real when you identify with it. When you accept the label. Holywood tours and the Virtuous Woman Rays of Light launch. It's how to compete for your true identity. Because one school of thought, remember, said word on the street is that our elders failed us. I'm going to show you. You ain't talking about the so-called European forefathers. Nah. The fathers that look just like you, come from the same place that you come from, who wanted to live the lifestyle of the Europeans that wanted to impose the land. Impose the land. Give you one example real quick.
What is Ubuntu? What is Ubuntu?
Maybe turn it off.
What's that a picture of? What's that a picture of? It says Nelson Mandela, Ubuntu, and the Knights of Malta. We're in the midst of so-called Black History Month. So they famously want to show us roots. So when the streets say our elders failed us, when Alex Haley talks about his roots, these are the roots that Alex Haley is talking about. These are the roots that Alex Haley is talking about. Nelson Mandela and the Knights of Malta. What's the Knights of Malta? It's the Knights. It's the highest. It's the Knights. It's the highest German knighthood. Just like if you was in Great Britain, Paul McCartney was in Great Britain. Paul McCartney is known as Sir. Paul McCartney. Elton John is known as Sir Elton John. They get knighted into another brotherhood called the Order of the Garter, also known as the Knights Templar. And this is the Knights of Malta.
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about something that I hope you're going to find interesting and revealing. I'm going to be talking about Nelson Mandela and revealing. I'm going to be talking about Nelson Mandela and the concept of Ubuntu. Now, for many people who have not lived in South Africa, they probably won't understand what the concept of Ubuntu is all about. So that is what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to explain what it's all about. So that is what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to explain what it means. And I want to just introduce you to one of my websites, which is this one you're looking at right now. Was released from prison on Robben Island and became the leader of South Africa. And at the time, we were told that this was all about the Rainbow Nation. It was all about unifying the peoples of South Africa, all the different people groups. And at that stage of my life, I knew people groups. And at that stage of my life, I knew absolutely nothing about what I'm going to reveal to you. So this opportunity to uncover and to expose what is most certainly a very sinister hidden agenda. I want to also just add that there are probably
Yes.
This quote says, "The Rainbow Nation is a term coined by Archbishop Desmond Tutu to describe post-apartheid South Africa after South Africa's first fully democratic election in 1994. Notice, Desmond Tutu coined the phrase. Who is Desmond Tutu? Who is Desmond Tutu? He's the Catholic Archbishop of South Africa. What is Desmond Tutu also? He's also initiated into the Knights of Malta.
Seneca?
Knights of Malta.
Seneca?
Knights of Malta. Malta has Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu and the same exact Germans who colonized South Africa and created apartheid. They are initiated into the brotherhood that created apartheid. And all across the globe, everywhere where colonization, slavery, oppression has been. Done under this exact
what is Ubuntu?
model.
Ubuntu is based upon the science of thought. Ubuntu is based upon the science of thought. The study and practice of this science used to be taught by the Brotherhood of the Higher Ones, or the Brotherhood of the Higher Ones of ancient Egypt. This science is also reflected in the African cosmology and the story of Ma'at. Ma'at represents the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance.
So, at the core of this brotherhood, so when Nas said the schools where I learn should be burned, it's all poison, because they're all based off of the Egypt sun god worship, of thought. That's where you get schools of thought, schools of higher learning. Thought is supposedly the god of wisdom that taught the Egyptians the hieroglyphs and language. Schools of thought. So the deception and the confusion and the miseducation has been artificially manufactured, artificially distributed, and then when we chase their education, when we chase their science and math and psychology and all of this and all of this trash. That's what Babylon means, confusion. So, real quick, tell you what, the final Holywood event is when the King of Kings deals with these challenges. These challenges have said there is no creator. The school of thought says there's no creator. There's no God that created anything. The Western schools of thought say survival of the fittest. We've evolved. There's no creation. There's no creator. God is within you. This is that supposed higher consciousness, self-worship. Poison.